And Happ. Purdue, they'll go smaller with the starting five. Thompson, Carson Edwards, Matthias, Vincent Edwards, and Caleb Swanigan up front. Greg Gard in his second year as the head coach at Wisconsin. This team has gotten to a point where they are one of the favorites to be a potential Final Four team. And Matt Painter, this might be the best Purdue squad that he's had in a number of years. They are 13-3. They've won 8 of their last 9. Terry Weimer, DJ Karstensen, and Brian Dorsey, our officiating crew here this afternoon. We are set to go from West Lafayette. Happ and Swanigan, Wisconsin controls the tip. We're underway.
And Iron Eagle right now. Purdue goes!
Purdue, one of the best offensive teams in the Big Ten. Wisconsin leading the conference in defense. Back in by Hayes, had 31 against them last year. Off the rim, tipped in by Brown. It doesn't go. P.J. Thompson handles it for Purdue. They're coming off a 76-75 win at Ohio State on Thursday night. Swanigan made 1 out of 2 free throws, and that turned out to be the difference.
Ball screen slipped, big fella at the rim. Both teams excellent post-passing teams.
Edwards gives it up to Carson Edwards. Shot clock's down to 5. Thompson looks down low. Swanigan gets a touch. The turnaround, rimming in.
Big fella's got some touch, too. What a great-looking target.
Just about a minute gone by. Purdue with a 2-0 lead in the 177th all-time meeting between these two schools. Happ on a kick.
Excellent feel for the game. Understands weight distribution, good with the bounce, and both hands.
Working around the perimeter. Koenig lines it up off the back of the iron, and it's rebounded by Edwards. Thompson gets them into a half-court set quickly.
And Matt Painter wants them to get good shots. A quick shot there. I'm not so sure that's exactly what they want, huh?
And that's been a little bit of an issue, decision-making on shot selection for Carson Edwards. Purdue up 2-0. Wisconsin looking to get on the board.
They do a great job of using the whole floor. Nice cut, and of course the pass. Happ to Hayes. You'll hear that combination quite a bit.
So Ethan Happ averaging just under 3 assists per game, setting up Hayes nicely. We are tied at 2. Purdue is number 2 in the country in assists behind UCLA.
Nice
tried the entry. Swanigan couldn't secure it. Showalter up the floor in a hurry.
Happ did a great job denying at that post spot.
Happ, the footwork, denied, sticks with it, and lays it in. Purdue fans wanted to travel.
He keeps working though. He doesn't give up on a play. Great strides, establishes the pivot foot, and Bird, believe it or not, he's most dangerous when he's under the glass.
He can find angles using the window, so efficient, and he's given Wisconsin a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, that's how we've survived.
Between us?
Finding the angles. We talked about this combination, just a little slip to the basket area. You start sneaking a peek at the post guy. This is his finish earlier. We saw him with Hayes as well on the fine.
Travel called, second turnover against Purdue. Wisconsin has already gotten 6 shot attempts. Purdue just 2 in the early going. Hayes feed it out front. Brown, all around skills, a lot of versatility on both sides. Koenig, one-on-one with Matthias. Shot clock down to 7. Showalter, long strides, can't finish with the left hand. Poke to the baseline, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Badgers.
That's what has made Showalter a lot tougher. He can make the 3, and he's very strong going to the rim. I think he leads this conference at floor burns, too.
Matt Painter now in his 12th year as the head coach. His alma mater. And this program has become very consistent, but still trying to take that next step.
Vince Edwards, one of those guys that's really helped this team. He's multi-positional, can make 3s, put it on the deck as well.
Edwards fires and connects.
Now that's within the system a little bit. That's what they would like him to do on a consistent basis.
We're tied at 4, 16:35 to go in this first half. High-low, Happ gets it inside. Showalter in a crowd. Showalter limping just a tad as he came down off the jump.
Pretty good athlete, huh? A coach's son. His dad played for Bo at Platteville.
He did. Played for Bo Ryan, the former head coach at Wisconsin. Edwards is fouled in the act. 2 free throws for Vincent Edwards.
The big thing with the ability to make this jump shot, little bump gives a cushion. Hap doesn't show big and a little drill from 15 feet, but Showalter off a little bump gets that low post area. You can see his strength as well.
Foul called against Vito Brown, not a shooting foul, so Purdue triggers in. 6-4 lead for Wisconsin. Swanigan
staying at home, no double.
Back in, kick, extra feed. Matthias.
That's his game. Side saddle, little pump, a little bounce to the left and drill it.
Dakota Matthias shooting 49% from downtown.
And that's what Greg Garber's telling us. The problem with the low post area is they kick out. You can't overhelp. Nice entry. Look at the double.
And Hap did not see Matthias. He turns it over. Boilermakers on the push. Thompson bounces for Edwards. Swanigan is asking for it. Swanigan works his way inside. The straight. And it rims out. Out of bounds. Last touch by Purdue.
Of course, the house wants a foul, but pretty good patience. But Matthias, a real good understanding, can run out to pump, make him bite. Side saddle. Dakota nails it. One like John Wooden, she would do the housework. But truly, I got to meet him at a McDonald's game, and there's an aura about men like that.
Yes.
That makes it a special occasion that you'll never forget. His love of the game and kids and what he was able to accomplish is just extraordinary.
I met him once as well out at Pauley Pavilion. What a class act.
You finally spoke to somebody who didn't go to Syracuse.
That's right. Well, I figured I'd expand my horizons. Some changes here. Wisconsin makes a substitution.
Ooh, a double dribble, I thought.
Dimitri trices in. Koenig pulls the trigger, and he's hit. Three-point territory. Bronson Koenig is going to the free throw line for 3.
And that's what you have to do, though. You have to have a hand up on him. Just unabashed when it comes to taking an open shot or a big game shot. And just to close out, you don't have to get there. A little nickel-dimer as well.
Khalil Iverson also in for Wisconsin. Isaac Haas on the floor for Purdue. Bronson Koenig shooting it at 92% at the free throw line this season. Trying to give Wisconsin the lead. Off the mark. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Wisconsin, Purdue, or your favorite team. For instant coverage of every moment from every angle, download the CBS Sports app today. Bronson Koenig likes to have some fun with my partner Bill Raftery. He calls you Bob Barker from The Price is Right.
I haven't spoken to him in 2 years. Not that I'm against Bob's look.
No, Bob's a
other than the
fine-looking
hair.
man.
Other than the hair, he's a great kid to talk to too.
Haas nearly turned it over. Matthias makes his move. Running one-hander, no. Rebound cleared by Hap.
They're going to move Haas around now. This is their big lineup, Purdue. Here's the ball screen. Keep the big guy in abeyance. And a little slip.
Iverson lines it up. Too strong on a 3, and Purdue will allow it to bounce out of bounds. Wisconsin holding on to a 1-point lead at the 14:36 mark of this first half.
I don't know if they want that jumper from Iverson. I think there's others that can really drill it on a regular basis.
Wisconsin leads the Big Ten in fewest points allowed, 59.4 per game.
This is the high-low. Look at how deep he is.
Haas, he is a load.
Unbelievable. If he ducks in and begs, no one's going to move him.
7'2", 290. That's down from 320 pounds. That was his high water mark his freshman year.
That's
Hap wheeling on the inside, and Haas played a role defensively. It's out of bounds.
This is one of the, once you duck in, he owns you, and then a little additional at the end of this where just uses that little chicken arm to protect a little bit, and that's very legal, I think. Nice little play. How about that? Undetectable. Trice on the floor now. Great playmaker, makes threes. Going to be a big-time player in this program.
Here's Hayes on the perimeter. Pull up over Swanigan. Buries it. It rims in for Nigel Hayes.
An NBA combo bird. Just work on your all-around game, and he has it. I just like how he subjugated his game. Disdains the 3 unless necessary.
He's multidimensional. He had been more of a stretch 4 in previous years, but he's been creeping inside the arc more. He was hit. Isaac Haas is fouled on the play by Showalter on the reach.
Yeah, that's good defense, though. Didn't get the ball, but you want to help your partner. Could you just picture yourself in the lane with Haas taking his... I mean, we'd be calling the medevac.
Isaac Haas at a team buffet freshman year put down 40 chicken strips. 40. Oh! Haas is fouled. And he's going to the free throw line where he shoots it at 69%.
How did you come up with that? I mean, is that envy?
No, I'm good for 6 chicken strips at most. 40.
Bert, this reminds me of a quick story. Andre the Giant, the great wrestler.
Yes.
Joan and I got to know him. And one day Joan said, well, what did you have for lunch today? I had 2 chickens.
not just a chicken breast.
2 chickens.
Whole chickens.
And a plate of, or a pan of lasagna.
Yes.
And that would do both of us for the year, I think. But
Billy, I have a follow-up question. How did you get to know Andre the Giant exactly?
We used to go to a place called Jimmy Weston's and have some lemonade. That was his hangout.
Really? I've known you a long time. I didn't know that one. Change for Purdue.
There's that swing offense, Bird. They settle for the deep shot.
Spike Albrecht is in the game now for the Boilermakers.
What a great story, huh?
Ryan Klein also out there as well.
Nice hands, and that's what you have to do. Be bigger and help the post defender. Good hands by Hayes.
So the steal for Nigel Hayes. 3rd turnover for the Boilermakers. Trice makes his move.
There's that little back screen, gets a nice easy inside. How about that?
What a find. Khalil Iverson planting himself inside in the anticipation from Demetric Trice to set him up.
You have to get on the other side of that screen. Not a good job defensively, but they worked on it yesterday.
Haas turns and connects off the window. Isaac Haas.
He's having some hors d'oeuvres today in that low box area.
He wears a size 22 sneaker. They go cross court.
There's a lot more of the swing offense now. All guys post up. You got to be ready to defend. You see Klein doing a real good job.
Thomas is in. Misses on the jump shot. Swanigan cleans the glass. He knocked his own man down on the play.
Decked him.
He could take out all of South Dakota if he wanted to. Long jumper, way off.
He's got the green light, though.
Ryan Klein is shooting it at 45% from downtown.
Nice play defensively.
Contact. It's an offensive foul. Nigel Hayes called on the charge.
He saw Haas. He thought he could get by him. Pretty good D.
A good one in West Lafayette, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Big Ten basketball at its finest on CBS.
And the ability now, they got 4 fouls because of this big guy. I mean, he is establishing low post, and that's exactly what Matt said to both of us. We need him to really dig in there and beg for that basketball. He is a power broker down on that block.
Painter's been telling Haas, keep it simple. Keep posting up. Don't try things in games that you don't necessarily do in practice with left-handed hook shots or shying away from what you do well.
So far, a pretty good job of him getting position here.
Purdue shooting it at 56%. Wisconsin is at 36%. Corner pop doesn't go
Nice
for Edwards. It's Haas clearing space. Oh, timber! The tree goes down, but Purdue saves it.
We got a little damage to the 3-second lane, huh?
Dump it into him. And a foul called.
This should be a non-shooting foul, by the way. But you can't see the forest for the trees. I guess you can't hear them unless you're right next to them, too. But Hap does a nice job trying to load up. You can see nice slide by. This is when the fans went crazy. But a good call here on the floor, not a shooting situation.
Foul against Hap. They trigger in. Albrecht on a bounce for Klein.
Ooh.
Edwards had it blocked from the outside.
They're saying it was blocked.
And it's out of bounds.
He thought he was passing to Haas, too.
Not quite on the same page there. It was deflected, so Purdue will retain it with 23 on the shot clock. Wisconsin having a long conversation with DJ Karstensen.
I think that's basically how to defend this guy right in here. What can we do? Look at, he's got to squeeze that. The turnover.
Edwards, they avoid the turnover. High floater, no. And it's rebounded by Showalter for the Badgers. So despite the poor shooting from Wisconsin, they're only down by one.
They just got to run their stuff, be a little more patient on this end. Don't think he's great with the dribble here. See how they're going to give him that shot.
Kick it out, Vito Brown. Back of the iron, rebounded by Carson Edwards, the freshman.
That's the one he's got to make, though, on that kick out.
Inside the arc, count it. Quick combo guard, he can facilitate for Purdue, and he is confident.
All right, now just be a little more patient, I think, Wisconsin. Make them guard in the half court.
We approach midway point, first half.
This is where he's tough. Look at the footwork.
Half. He was looking for a call. Haas has got those long limbs. Albrecht, zigzag move from him. Trice sticks with him. Dump inside.
Nice denial.
It's Happ who will get credit for the knockaway.
And also the pass entry should have been to the other side.
Happ is asking for it. Albrecht kicks it away from Trice. And a foul called. Matt Painter irate.
It's good to see a little of the old Matt, a little Gene Katie coming out. A lot of people think these are the two best teams right now in the Big Ten, which means they'll be in the NCAA tournament. And Spike, I'll tell you what, that looked pretty good. He slapped it down. I mentioned Spike, too, hurt his back after coming back after hip injuries and surgery last year. Going to get his master's here. Nice footwork here, but doesn't finish.
Happ got his hands on it, off the miss. Edwards the other way. Little shake and bake move. Edwards the send-off. It was too obvious. A blatant call as Edwards used the right arm on Showalter.
He forgot his teammates here. Not enough shirts with the home team underneath. You can just see here, he may have gotten something with Swanigan, but that's an easy call. Patience, young guy.
On the previous possession, that was not a foul on Albrecht. They called it a kick.
Kick, right.
And that was what Matt Painter was disagreeing about. It was not a kick.
Good screen and roll.
Showalter, outside. Vito Brown. Here's Hayes with 10 to shoot. Crosses over, and it's going the other way. He was trying to work around Vito Brown. That is number 2 on the senior from Bowling Green, Ohio.
I think both teams got to run their offense a little bit more. All seem just a little bit in a hurry. If you don't get anything easy early, you've got enough weapons if you spread it around.
Boilermakers up by 3. We approach 9 minutes to go in this first half. Wisconsin's down to 29% shooting.
Nice play by Happ. Boy, he does a good job in his post defense. And it takes a roll of quarters to get around Swanigan, too.
Matthias back in for Purdue. Boilermakers swept Wisconsin last season. They beat them 61-55 in Madison, then knocked them off here at home 91-80. Purdue has been scoring at a fantastic clip, more than 75 points in 9 straight games.
I love that dribble handoff.
Swanigan and Edwards not on the same page.
Edwards sort of back cut. He's got to come get it and run the show a little bit.
So that's a turnover for Swanigan. Turnover's a problem during his freshman year. Matt Painter said he's been better in his sophomore year, especially over the last 7 games or so.
Now, when he was talking about turnovers, my thought was the bigs make most of them, which actually, in a sense, you don't want any, but at least you can balance the floor. You turn it over, and nice footwork again. Too many.
Missed it. He's having a tough time getting around Swanigan, but he takes it away. A push called on Swanigan as they battled for the loose ball.
I thought this was actually a play on. Well, they are really doing a great job screening out. And here he just loses his balance. And I think he just sort of play on here. It would have been a Wisconsin ball. I love the competition, though.
We asked Greg Gard about playing Purdue. He said it's always about the physicality, the mental toughness, even going back to the Katie era.
Offense.
It is, and it's Nigel Hayes. That's number 2 on Hayes.
Just a little ratty kind of basketball right now. Anytime you put that shoulder down and you got to sell it, what a great job defensively, huh?
Purdue leads at 15-12. We've had 11 field goals in this game, and we've had 11 turnovers.
What are you suggesting?
Suggesting that scoring has been a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, they both terrific defenders. That time Edwards with a great foot movement to pick it up. Haas in high-low.
Purdue has spent 28 consecutive weeks in the top 25 of the polls. They come in as the number 20 team in the country.
They go the other way. Haas with the clear out. Illikainen on the floor, trying to give half a little bit of a rest, but right, you can just see that left arm now.
Alex Illikainen's given up about 60 pounds to Isaac Haas.
I don't know about that one either. You'll see the second time. I know they're trying to clean it up post-play. That's what they've all. Rick Boyages is here, referee, the commissioner for the Big Ten. He was saying they've done a better job at it, but that one, I don't know. A little small change.
Purdue with a 3-point lead. Second foul on Haas. Stop and go by Koenig. Needs some help.
He has played within himself, too. He likes to post up as they slip all different people inside.
Iverson feeds it to the corner. Hap gets a touch. Drive and kick. Illikainen. Front rim. Rebounded by Mathias. We're down to 7:38 to go in this first half.
It's all Swanigan now. This is the lineup that they've got to quite a bit. And they go right here as Hine tries to make a cut.
It is Illikainen picking up the personal foul, and we step in effective when he's been in there.
Well, Bird has brought you up to speed to his dietary habits, his ability to duck in and dominate, his strength around the rim. He's such a great target, just playing within himself, don't extend the arms. And his reposting, I think, is very important as they get into the meat of the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament. He is one of those immovable objects.
The difference for Matt Painter, last year more of a shot blocking presence with A.J. Hammonds. Free throw is good for Klein. Thursday, February 2nd on CBS. How far can you cross the line before you can't come back? Bill Paxton and Justin Cornwall star in the new drama Training Day, premiering Thursday, February 2nd, only CBS.
And you were mentioning the defense was different because of
less fouls, but not quite the rim protection that they had from a year ago. Davis was an excellent on-the-ball defender.
The lockdown defender, exactly. It's got to be more of a team approach. Koenig has really played with himself. Only one shot, hasn't forced anything. This is where he's tough. Look at him find people. Up top!
Iverson climbs the imaginary ladder.
Allen wishes he could have done that.
You've heard that one before, huh?
Exactly. What a great look. And that's what Hap does. Good feel. He and Hayes are great. Point mentality in the low box area.
They went nearly 6 minutes without a point. Now trailed by 3. Jab step from Thompson. Mathias feeds the post. Swanigan backing in. Baby hook. Rings in.
Just too tough. Turns that shoulder. Don't extend. Nice little touch.
Biggie Swanigan getting involved in the paint. Iverson. Feed it down low. Showalter amongst the trees. Can't finish. Cleared by Swanigan.
And he was an influence there as well.
Purdue up by 5.
Ooh, they had Klein.
Swanigan. Oh, the touch from three-point territory. Caleb Swanigan gets the bounce.
You're that big. You're not supposed to have that kind of touch.
7 points, 5 rebounds. Purdue extends up by 8.
The friendly ribs here at Mackey. Big, tough, strong, with some ability to finish.
Billy, it's an 11-2 run since Wisconsin led 12-11.
And that's why number 10's back in.
Nigel Hayes playing with 2 fouls. Dimitri Trice back in as well for Wisconsin.
And they're trying to establish Hayes, but Edwards with a great defensive scheme.
Shot clock's down to 4. Trice, fake, jumper. Off the rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Showalter comes in, rejected by Edwards. Swanigan gets his hands on it, and now it's Klein.
All I can think of is Greg Gard talking about how physical they are, meaning Purdue.
Working around the perimeter. They'll get Swanigan the touch. Swanigan curls.
got
And a
steps.
travel.
And Hayes backed off, almost like Rick Mahorn used to do. You remember? Put that arm in and back off.
You pull the chair out.
Pull the chair, exactly. Lose the balance, but also he did it because he's got those 2 fouls.
That's 9 turnovers now for Purdue. They come in averaging 13.5 per game. Purdue is shooting it at 53%, but they only have 15 field goal attempts.
Koenig trying to post, take advantage of.
Koenig
That's a step back. That's one of
over
his-
Thompson, and it goes over the backboard, out of bounds.
That's one of his favorite moves on that baseline. Step back, got the strength to convert. And Thompson's size differential.
During their 9-game winning streak, Wisconsin is shooting it at 51% from the field. In this first half, the Badgers are struggling. 26% on 6 of 24, 0 of 6 from three-point range.
This is where they got to be solid. Look, Keenan in now. Got to get a better angle for delivery.
Edwards wasn't looking. The save by Klein, but he saves it to Wisconsin. That's 10 first-half turnovers for the Boilermakers.
Perimeter game right now unless you get Hayes down on the box. There he is.
To Hayes.
Nice kick.
Diagonal feed.
A little post action. Swanigan maybe?
Swanigan and Hayes were in the paint. They're going to get it on Edwards. It's number 1 on Edwards.
Pretty good denial here initially, and they get the foul just to get the right spot. You got to be on the high side. Do your homework early.
That is 16 fouls against Purdue. Basil Smotherman checks into the game. The 4th-year junior, redshirt last season for Matt Painter's squad.
Once again, Hayes it will be the conduit here. Now they're going to kick out jump shot. Good things happen. Now watch the cutters.
Koenig with 14 to shoot. Disjointed possession here for Wisconsin. Hayes trying to fake out Smotherman. He's fouled on the spin.
Now years ago you wouldn't see this many ISOs, but they go to that when they need a opportunity at the basket or a chance to get to the free throw line. And why not? Nigel possesses some style off that bounce.
Nigel Hayes over 1,000 career points, over 500 rebounds, over 400 assists. Smotherman called for the foul. Hayes shooting it at 65%. Rims out.
But Purdue's done well, Bird. When the ball does go inside, they're not over-helping. They're staying on shooters. So any kickouts aren't those step-in threes.
Showalter back in. He replaces Khalil Iverson for Wisconsin. Just 14 points on the board for the Badgers.
This is Showalter's type of game, though, isn't it? You're really getting after people.
High arcing delivery from Nigel Hayes. He goes 1 out of 2 from the line, and Purdue's lead is 7. Free throws not a huge factor in this first half. Purdue is 4 out of 4. Wisconsin 3 out of 5.
Use the big guy. Nice help by Hayes, sniffing. You had an entry.
Smotherman takes a peek inside. Now keeps it on the perimeter for Thompson. Swanigan, 8 to shoot. Matthias, the jump shot. He nails it. It's a triple. Dakota Matthias, contested 3.
That's where he's improved, Bird. He can go to the rim a little bit, but good use of the bounce to set it up.
Purdue's got its largest lead, 25 to 15.
Oh, they are struggling at this end. Seldom do you see Wisconsin not effective in their half-court set, but it's great he can elevate right now.
Mismatch, Hayes gives it up along the baseline, and it's Illikainen using the backboard as his friend.
How about the look by Hayes, huh? That was pretty special.
Purdue up by 8. We approach the 3-minute mark of this first half from West Lafayette. Penetration. Thompson is fouled.
Koenig.
The 9th team foul called against the Badgers.
When you can shoot the basketball, you're going to get closeouts, but it's all set by the dribble. Set it up.
Only CBS.
Some tough trips for both teams. I just think the physicality of the game, maybe a little impatient on the offensive end, by particularly Wisconsin. And they are so basic, sound fundamentally. But this crowd, and of course the physicality down low, has had its impact.
P.J. Thompson, 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in his career, best in Purdue basketball history. He values the basketball and sets the tone for this team, although turnovers have been an issue in this first half, and it's kept Wisconsin in the game, so to speak. 10 of them for the Boilermakers, but Wisconsin down by 10.
And Wisconsin's gotten 5 points off of those. Here they go ISO. This worked before, and he can elevate.
Hayes works around Smotherman, twisting inside for 2.
Boy, at some point you got to get some help there.
8-point lead for Purdue. 2.5 to go in this first half. Half court set for the Boilermakers. Thompson gives up his dribble.
Rapp with a good job showing and recovering down there.
Timer is down to 9. Edwards has a screen. He'll take a long 3 and missed it badly.
Settle.
And it's Trice with the defensive board for Wisconsin. Brother Travis was a standout at Michigan State.
And Dad went here, Bird, as you know.
Travis Purdue. That's right.
Yeah. He's in the Wisconsin gear, by the way.
So really no mixed emotions here.
No. Nice cross.
And it's Hayes rimming out.
Well, they found something to go to, though. Tough to contain, the big fella.
Struggles
nice
continue
hands.
Offensively, but not defensively. Another turnover for Purdue. Happ creates it for Wisconsin. Trice
nice
gives it
run.
Up. The cutter, and it's Happ with the bucket.
This kid gets down and dirty. Against Ohio State, he slid the 3-second lane the same way. Only at that point, he had turned it over. But this was a great save. Woo. Running the floor and finishing. Big time. Talked about it today. This kid just gives everything out. A hard worker, diligent. Frank Kaminsky beat him up a couple of years, but look at this effort. He did the same thing in Ohio State. Gets on the floor, and now watch the sprint to the 10. 6'10". Woo! A load.
He was a high school point guard at one point. He had a couple of growth spurts that changed his position.
Are you jealous?
Yeah, a little bit. Swanigan.
Nice.
Good move on the interior for Caleb Swanigan.
And that move he did in the lane against Ohio State and got the foul shot that won the game. Great footwork with some power.
Wisconsin has a 16-8 advantage in the paint. They've made just one shot outside of the paint in this first half.
Nice roll again.
And it's Happ. Gets it to go.
Koenig with poise. A little delay with the dribble. Let the big guy get closer to the rim.
29-23. Wisconsin's chipped away a bit. We're down to 34 seconds to go in this first half.
You need a good shot right now. Usually goes through the middle right here.
Swanigan.
See, everybody stays at home. No need to double.
Swanigan off the mark. And it's Iverson with the board.
Big run here the last minute.
So Wisconsin can hold for one here. We're down to 15 seconds to play. Purdue has 17 fouls. A foul would put Wisconsin into a 1-on-1 situation.
Ball screen, empty side.
4 seconds. Koenig swings it. Happ, 2 seconds. He traveled with 2.2 on the clock. Wisconsin turns it over.
Nice play by Cars.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Seth Davis will update you on all of this weekend's action. That's coming up on AT&T at the half.
Just a little thing. Carson Edwards stuck his arm out there to rake and help. The big fella took an extra one.
Isaac Haas back in. He left the game with those 2 personal fouls.
Now this may be the home run pass to Haas. And then a fine for the open look.
Andy Van Fleet, a 7-footer, checks in to guard the inbounder. Matthias, baseball pass, long one, caught, Haas throws it up! Off the top of the backboard, no good. They went for the Hail Mary, and they had the right tight end in there.
I'll tell you what, both coaches were ready for that situation. Big on the ball, and Haas able to snatch and not deliver.
End of the first half in West Lafayette. Purdue's got a 29-23 lead over Wisconsin. big-time matchup in the Big Ten here on CBS. We'll send you to Adam Zucker in New York with 0 of 6. Turnovers for Purdue, 11 of them, and the Boilermakers have a 29-23 lead. Iron Eagle back alongside Bill Raftery. Well, we knew these two teams would be physical. It's lived up to it from that standpoint. Wisconsin's defense, this is what we expect. Purdue's offense, we saw it during stretches as well.
I think we'll see prettier basketball, and you call him Biggie with envy. Swanigan has been terrific for this team. Whatever you need in the low box area to turn around jumper, the ability to roll in that little baby hook, so solid. And how about this feathery delivery? Yes! Some divine intervention, and of course the other end, you need something. Hayes, clever without the basketball, good with the pull-up jumper, playing with himself, and then the fake spin finish at the rim. Both of them impressive.
Nigel Hayes, 7 points, 2 fouls. Swanigan, 9 points and 5 rebounds. He comes in averaging 18.3 points per game and just under 13 boards. Purdue, 2-1 in the Big Ten. 3 losses this season for Purdue came against Villanova, Louisville, and Minnesota. That was their lone loss within the conference in overtime.
How about Minnesota, though? I mean, Murphy played great. Mason made shots. Happy for Richard Pitino. One of those teams, a lot of people didn't expect that kind of early success.
Wisconsin's defense, you look through the numbers this season, 10 of their 15 games they've played in, they've held their opponent to a season low in points. So they're tough to solve defensively. They have 6 steals through the first half. And that's been an issue for Purdue, turning the ball over the last 3 games.
Here's the weave, and they usually replace, and they got Edwards with an ISO from the top.
The spin against the grain, doesn't get the roll, and it's knocked to the outside, and Koenig. 6-point lead for Purdue. We're just underway in the second half from Mackey Arena. Vito Brown puts it on the deck.
Oh, another double dribble, yeah. Wow.
Gave it up, then realized he had no one to pass to and tried to pick it up.
He was a little impatient. Koenig was trying to fill to help him out, and here you see everybody clearing out, doesn't have a vision, and he knew right away, too. He's going, oh my goodness, I haven't done that since grade school.
That's 6 turnovers now for Wisconsin. Badgers come in averaging 11.4 per game.
Good
turnover, Purdue. Edwards had it knocked away by Brown.
They've done a nice job trying to protect the post defender.
12 turnovers for the Boilermakers.
He can back him in.
Big against small, but it's slapped away from Happ. Brown heads to the sideline to get it, and a foul is called against Edwards.
Yeah, didn't really have to do that. Just respect the opponent. Get back in guard. But
that's number 2 on the freshman.
Happ thought he had a little lunch there in the low box, one of the guards.
Purdue has averaged 86.2 points per game in their wins, 74 points per game in their losses. They're at 29 right now.
Bro, these are 2 good defensive teams. Tough pass.
Hayes,
not a good one.
Trying to bounce it to Happ.
Bad angle, right?
Yep. That's 7 turnovers now for Greg Gard's squad.
Just take the dribble over to that left side. You got an easy dump down. Weave, ball screen.
Matthias.
Nice.
Dump it. The throwdown. Caleb Swanigan set up by Matthias.
And Swanigan really didn't count the house. Paid attention to detail. Got that big wide body at the rim.
Swanigan now in double figures. 31-23 Purdue. 11 points for Swanigan. Happ facing. Kick out. Showalter lets it fly and connects. It's a triple. Zach Showalter.
And Bird, that's what's great about Happ and Hayes. They find people.
That is the first Wisconsin 3 of the game. Now 1 of 7 from downtown. Edwards the answer? Yes! It's a 3! Vincent Edwards shooting it at 44% from beyond the arc at his first points of the game.
Swanigan just such a roadblock when he screens.
Hayes the bounce. Happ with the left hand. Great chemistry.
How about the left-hand pass, too, by Hayes? That side ball screen, very, very tough, the way Wisconsin runs it.
Purdue up by 6. Edwards makes his move, hangs, and it clangs off the rim. Happ handles it, busting out the point guard. Background. Here's Hayes, the screen, the
nice
bounce.
pass again.
Hap.
He stays with it with that footwork, right? Uses the rim to ward off. Herky-jerky little head bob.
His ability to wheel on the inside, create space for himself, and then finish around the rim is impressive. Remember, he redshirted his freshman year, so he has developed now in his third year with the program.
Wisconsin running their stuff now. That's what's helping them.
Wisconsin opens the second half, 3 out of 3 from the field. Thompson, high arcing delivery for P.J. Thompson.
He is a tough guy. These two little guys in the backcourt. Now, Kaminsky would take that shot. That's the difference. At some point, he's going to get better at it.
Koenig,
shot.
a floater. Bronson Koenig.
Well, they read one another beautifully.
Koenig tickling the clouds with that attempt, and he's cut the Purdue lead to 4. Wisconsin has not missed in the second half. 4 out of 4 from the field. Edwards defended by Koenig, 12 to shoot.
Box to box by Swanigan.
This is Vincent Edwards, the hard drive, and the left-handed finish.
He plays so many spots for this team, and all of them well.
38-32. Edwards out of Middletown, Ohio, and a foul called as Koenig was working just outside the paint.
If you're a young guy, you got to learn to use that offhand as well as you can. Swanigan really does a pretty good job. He keeps Hap out of the play, but that little extension, that baby hook, so rewarding. What a little kiss in Lafayette.
Khalil Iverson is in. He replaces Vito Brown. Hap turns. Hap again works it with his feet on the interior. Now Wisconsin perfect in the second half.
And Bert, at some point you got to really dig down as a guard, but then he finds people. It is a major dilemma.
Purdue shooting it well in the second half. 4 out of 6. Rims out on the jumper from Edwards. Hayes is asking for it. Koenig couldn't get it to him. Showalter goes diagonal. Hap on
nice
a bounce.
entry.
The seal by Hayes and a foul called.
Little different outlook, huh?
We got a timeout with 15:23 to play in the second half. It's a 4-point game.
Get the ball to the right spots when they take their time. It's a terrific high-low game. Good feel for one another. Right now, Purdue back with Haas to match up.
24-12, Wisconsin has outscored Purdue in the paint. Hap is 3 out of 3 in the second half. Second foul on Edwards. Jump shot doesn't go for Hayes, and it's rebounded by Matthias for the Boilermakers. Purdue 38, Wisconsin 34. Badgers ranked 13th in the country. Purdue enters play tonight at number 20. Haas down low, and he is tough to handle for Ethan Hap. Isaac Haas has come off the bench to score 8.
All you can do is call for help. Nice cross.
Hayes challenging Haas. And it's Showalter going for the loose ball, and he's called for the foul.
Number 2, I believe.
It is. That's the first team foul against Wisconsin. Purdue has 3.
Now Hayes with an excellent move, but that size prevailing up front for Purdue.
Illakainen is in, so is Demetric Trice for Wisconsin. Hayes and Showalter will get a breather.
And now Trice moves to the point now to run the show. Might see Koenig get some opportunities now without the ball.
Demetric Trice out of Huber Heights, Ohio. Shifty, good burst at 6 foot, 178 pounds. Swanigan, that's too high even for Haas.
Well, it's such a deep pass too. You know, it's like advertising. You got to get a better angle, got to get the D. He does a nice job stepping up and spinning out here. Unfortunately, just too deep.
And it's 13 turnovers for Purdue.
Koenig trying to post size-wise. Here he comes again.
Back into the hands of Trice, 13 to shoot. Trice makes his move with a pull-up pop. Book it.
This kid is gonna be something else. A little simple jump shot, but there's a lot more to his game than that.
He was a high school quarterback, a dual threat at Wayne High School.
Ooh,
steal.
Nice play, Hap.
Up ahead, Hap gets it. Trice found himself underneath and blows the layup. Foul called at into the rebound action. Dimitri Trice thought he had a gimme.
I know, he got too far around. Dylan Kanan, I think, is the guy that got the foul. That's one of those deals you would never land. The only guy that can score on his team from under the basket is number 22, Hap. It's just a tough angle. That's one of those you get a little egg on your brow, get back in guard.
He may have thought about giving it up to Iverson.
Good point.
But Trice could not convert on the inside. 40-36 Purdue. The jump shot doesn't go for Thompson.
Great job.
Thompson gets another. It goes down. It's a three.
All about Haas.
P.J. Thompson from downtown. 43-36 Boilermakers. Koenig trying to get involved.
Pass.
No look for Iverson. Extra feed for Hap. Hap turns. Off the rim, no good. And it's rebounded by Klein. Lead feed. Thompson. Lost it. Gets it back. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Well, you better put your hard hat on tonight, huh? This afternoon. Goodness.
Matthias to Klein, the jumper.
That's his game.
It's good. Ryan Klein is on target. Timeout, Badgers.
Two bigs on occasion. You can see a nice job spinning to get offensive rebound after the long jumper, but the kick out now, and Thompson, who had the dagger against Ohio State late, is able to drill it. And here's just a little bump from Swanigan, and Klein squared, able to drill that one. Two big-time threats outside when you think of Matthias and Klein, and then you get Thompson drilling it too. 5 threes to 1. Purdue in favor.
And Purdue is dominating the boards, 21-14 in favor of the Boilermakers. They're number 7 in the country in rebounding margin at plus 10.3 per game.
Now here's a tough match, I think, with Hayes Swanigan away from the rim. They use that little flex cut and they lock him in.
Showalter back in, trying to get it to Hayes. Stepping in front is Clyde, and a turnover for Wisconsin. Into the hands of Thompson, calls out a play. Trying to bring this lead to double figures. Largest cushion has been 10.
There's a little spin out from the foul line and a replace.
Klein, the jumper. Got it! It's a three!
Boy, faulty defense right now by Wisconsin, particularly on the perimeter guys.
Purdue is 6-10 from downtown, and it's the largest lead of the game. 8-0 run for the Boilermakers. Showalter gives up his dribble. Ilakanen. Back out front for Trice. 2 screens. Trice, step back Jay. No. Rebound. Hayes is in there. And a tie-up. I'll make that Iverson, who got his hands on it as well. It was a battle down low and possession arrow. Wisconsin.
Just the ability to get lost. You see the big bumps. The big guys providing opportunities to drill some deep jumpers. I got you, Goggles. Keep drilling them. Come up with that.
Our producer, Mark Wolf in the truck, Suzanne Smith, our director, back in. Hat with the left hand, he missed it out of the timeout. And Wisconsin has not had answers for Purdue after a good start to the second half. It's Purdue that's found the recipe on offense.
Been able to get threes because of the bumps outside. Here's another screen and then a handoff. Dribble exchange.
Going big once again with Haas and Swanigan. And some activity away from the ball, Vito Brown. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what will artificial intelligence look like in battle? See some of the most sophisticated technology the military has ever produced. That's tonight only. CBS. Third foul on Vito Brown. Catch and shoot from the corner. Wow. It's Klein! He is piping hot!
As good as they are making threes, it's the screens by the bigs that have set them free.
Purdue is 59% from the field. They're 6 of 10 from three-point territory. It's a 10-0 run.
And Bronson Koenig really hasn't been able to get in the game as Hayes tries to go to the rim. And once again, Haas, a factor and a foul on the floor by Swanigan.
Swanigan had hit the deck. He was scraping for the loose ball, and he got Hayes. Wisconsin has missed its last 5 shots from the field. So Swanigan picks up the personal. It's the third team foul on Purdue. 11 minutes to play.
It's a great scouting. That's the dribble, the handoff on the inbounder. They're ready to play Koenig. See if you can get a clean look. Nice show by Haas.
Koenig has not been a factor here for the Badgers. There's Showalter. Now Hayes takes a peek at the clock. 12 to shoot.
Thinks he can beat him with the bounce.
Brown catching fire. He missed it badly. He knew it right away. Swanigan on a lead feed for Thompson.
Well, they are settling at that end.
Swanigan. Pump fake. Outside. Thompson. Short. And rebounded by Hayes on the strong side. A 9-game winning streak on the line for Wisconsin. Turnover. Thompson the push. Thompson 2-on-1. Klein. Extra man is Swanigan. And he's twirled down on the play. Swanigan laid out. And he will do a push-up to get himself to his feet and head to the free throw line.
Bird, right now they're getting out hustled. And also at this end, Wisconsin's doing a lot of stuff out of impulse quickly. And it leads to this ability. But look at all the gray shirts coming down the floor, and that could definitely, they're going to take a look at it, at least a flagrant one. I think maybe just to play on, but when you hit the floor, generally the reaction of officials is unfavorable.
DJ Karstensen having a chat with Vito Brown, and Terry Weimer and Brian Dorsey have made their way over to the monitor.
Anything above the shoulder like that, they may give him 2 plus the ball. Initially, I think he's just trying to trap his arm, but the lingering impact is what may get the attention of the officials, like this little pull around.
Yep. That's 4 now on Vito Brown. If he does the chop down, it probably goes undetected. He gets the personal foul, and that's it. But the takedown, as Swanigan, who's a big body, hitting the floor, drew the attention of the officials.
And, you know, Purdue's done just a great job defensively, by the way, Bird. It's got Wisconsin, at least from my seat, the different look. They're not the same kind of team that really puts you in the grinder. They're patient when they have to be. Let's see if they go flagrant one as we check out the graphic.
It's excessive contact or pushing, holding a player from behind to prevent a score. 2 shots. And the ball goes to the offended team. Flagrant 2 is excessive, severe, extreme contact with an opponent while the ball is live. I don't think they'll go flagrant 2. That would be an ejection. DJ Karstensen is explaining what the call will be to Matt Painter.
And by the reaction, Greg Gard doesn't seem upset, so I guess they're going to keep playing. All right. I'll go for it. I mean, it was in the old days, it's just a hard foul. Just a hard foul in the old days. I really can't argue with it. Can you? The call is they went down playing the ball, which is what you addressed. But occasionally an overreaction by officials. I think a good job.
Swanigan, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block. He does have 5 turnovers. Makes the first, shoots it at 77%. Keep in mind, Caleb Swanigan reclassified as a high school student, so he finished high school in 3 years. He would be a freshman right now at 6'9", 250. He's actually trimmed down from last year to this year. Hard worker.
They said one of the hardest they've had here, right? Matt saying, going back to his days. Eugene Katie?
He said he puts in the most time of anyone he's been around.
Ball screen, see if they get something good out of this.
Showalter bounces for Happ. Happ twirls in the paint. Bank shot, no, but a foul.
You know, Greg Gard's not going to have a timeout without running something. And they got to get back to that basic and be solid at the other end. Don't overhelp because they're getting those kick-out threes, and they're also not getting over screens well that have set up the threes.
That's number 3 on Isaac Haas, and it sends Ethan Happ to the free throw line. And that's been a struggle for Happ. Just 1 win away from matching their all-time Division I record of 90 straight victories. Gino Auriemma's #1 ranked UConn Huskies play host to USF Tuesday at 7 Eastern on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, CBS Sports Network. What An impressive run for that program.
How many rings? He could open up a jewelry store with all the rings he had. You know, the New York Athletic Club honors the Coach of the Year, men and women. I mean, he's got a locker. He's got a bedroom there. Every year he's there. Oh, Gino out of Philly.
That ends a 12-0 run. 2 free throws for Ethan Happ. Purdue's lead as the smoke clears is 14.
A nice bump again to get him going.
Klein.
Pretty.
The tip in. Swanigan rising up.
He uses that derriere to screen people, and then the pursuit to the tin.
15 points, 9 rebounds for Caleb Biggie Swanigan. 54-38 Purdue. The drive, Showalter. Iverson spins, hangs, and hits.
Man, that was impressive, wasn't it?
Khalil Iverson, who provides a spark off the bench. That's something Greg Gard is working on, trying to extend this bench to 8, 9, 10 deep, where they can depend on those guys. He feels good about 6 and 7 right now. That includes Iverson.
Same play here, a little screen.
Matthias catch and shoot. 1 and done for Purdue. Happ clears it.
He's confident bringing that ball up too.
Koenig got the step on the defender. The drive by Happ. And a crowd. Kicks pump. Showalter a 3. Off the mark. Rebound Hayes. It went to the corner and Hayes has got it.
Boy, Koenig really can't get a look. They are staying at home on him. Nice cut.
The dive to the rim. It's Nigel Hayes.
Showalter with the assist. Great look off the curl.
9 points for the Toledo, Ohio native, Nigel Hayes. Wisconsin just 1 out of 9 from three-point territory. They're in a 12-point hole with just over 8 minutes to play. Entry, Happ steps in. He bangs it off Swanigan, and it caroms over to Iverson.
Great footwork to deny on that baseline side.
Koenig crossing over, fend off. Hayes against Edwards. Hayes to the hoop.
I think he got it, Swanigan.
Partially
rebound,
blocked by Swanigan. And he cleans the glass for Purdue.
Boy, has he performed big time.
And another double-double for Caleb Swanigan. That is 8 in a row. Swanigan, yes, it's a 3. He's putting up monster numbers once again for Swanigan.
What a performance.
18 points, 10 boards for Swanigan. Happ out of the double. Showalter fires, no. Showalter the effort. Out of bounds.
How about this guy? He's Biggie. He's also a big-time performer. We saw him on a tip after a screen, and why not? Stretch your game. Leave it all out there.
Enjoy your phone.
You too. All right, be cool. You got the
Summary here in West Lafayette. Purdue is scorching hot from the field, 57%, despite the 15 turnovers. They've got a 15-point lead. Back courtside, Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery. This is a big performance for Purdue, considering what could be some tie-breaking scenarios down the stretch in the Big Ten. You're talking about maybe the 2 best teams in the conference.
I would agree. I think what has happened is Purdue has changed their personality.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin, not themselves. They're impatient. I know they like ISO, but they've been more understanding of getting ball side to side, getting some dribble drive, or getting it into the post and let that guy make some decisions. I know you'd like me to change my personality, but
is that an option?
More importantly, I think they've got to get back to their basic style of play. It begins with stops at this end.
Out of the timeout, Purdue with the basketball. We approach 7 minutes to play in this second half. Back in. Edwards off the window. Doesn't go. The rebound snatched there by Hayes.
Now they play a little bit smaller with Edwards up front.
Wisconsin needs to get it going in a hurry here. Jordan Hill is in for the Badgers. Demetric Trice. They're looking for some kind of spark right now. Koenig just 3 field goal attempts.
They just ran a double for him, but it was guarded well.
Illikainen.
A little more of their swing.
Hayes, shot clock winding down. Hayes with a purpose. He's fouled, and Edwards can't believe it.
And that was a great word, because that's the first time they sort of had purpose in their offense. Got it side to side a little bit, ran a couple of options, and then that little elbow pinch post. Dribble drive.
Third foul on Vincent Edwards, and it's Nigel Hayes back to the line. sixth team foul against Purdue. Back into the game, Isaac Haas. So he'll play alongside Swanigan. Swanigan has 10 rebounds. Wisconsin's starting front court combined has 10 rebounds.
I was talking to Matt the other day about how he's a little bit like Don Nelson in his heyday with Milwaukee, where he would change your lineup, play real big, play small. Haas keeps it alive. Swanigan.
And another board for Swanigan. That's 11 now for Caleb Swanigan. 57-43, Purdue.
And Wisconsin only has 10 rebounds at starting front court.
Purdue is 17-3 at home in their last 20 Big Ten games. This is a tremendous environment. Mackey Arena.
Knowledgeable as heck, too. Nice fake, and look at this attack.
Swanigan missed it. Haas is there. Couldn't flush it. Now it does. Isaac Haas would not give up.
Maybe a little message from Matt, too. His big body got the red shirts under the rim.
Koenig rims in. That's a long two-pointer for Bronson Koenig.
They need him to step up a little bit now. They've guarded him well, and he's played within it.
59-45, Purdue. 5:38 remaining in regulation. Swanigan pivots. Now they include Matthias with a jump shot.
Tough shot there.
Short.
Under duress.
Haas trying to grab it, and a foul called against Illikainen.
Well, what they say is ride the big Haas. And look at how he just discards people. Keeps after it. Relentless. Boy, the physicality that he and Swanigan have is somewhat overpowering.
5 team fouls against Wisconsin. Matthias gets it in. Klein has played a solid role here for Purdue. Sophomore from Carmel, Indiana.
Gives him so many more options on kickouts and ball screens.
Matthias using the screen from Swanigan. Thompson looks down low. Swanigan gets it against Hayes. Drop step and a travel.
Yeah, to spin. He just can't get away with it. With your friends, you may be able to.
This is a Purdue program that has not been to the Elite Eight since 2000. Last Final Four was 1980. Matt Painter came in when the program was down, took over, has gotten them back to a consistent level in his 12 years as the head coach. Spent 1 year as the head coach at Southern Illinois. Did an outstanding job there.
8 NCAAs, though, Bert.
Yeah, they're there every year, year in and year out.
And we know how hard it is to win it all. I mean, it's one mistake, one bad period. Nice spin out.
Happ, baseline. He's clever.
He is. That he is.
Chance at a three-point play as Ethan Happ goes to the free throw line. He's got 16 points for Wisconsin.
I heard our old pal Jay Billis saying he's a little bit like McHale in his heyday. I think he plays older than that. I might go back to George Mikan. He was a good friend of yours. Sure.
Yes, we were roommates.
But he possesses an innate ability for feeling people, knowing what he can do, step moves, either hand. His hands are huge. If you ever get a look at those babies, they're hams.
His first love was baseball. He played first base. His cousin, Blue Jays pitcher J.A. Happ. So it's in the blood. It's in the genes.
Well, they say in your playing day you couldn't get to first base.
No, that's fair.
A little reach in by Happ. Before the shot.
So now the team fouls are at 6 for Wisconsin, 7 for Purdue. We're down to 4:25 to play in this second half. And Purdue's lead is now at 11.
A tough physical game, though. Every trip. Ooh, not fortunate.
There was a bump out front. No foul called. Still time to work with on the shot clock. Swanigan way outside. Klein swings it. Matthias frees himself up. And it rims in. Dakota Matthias. Multi-skilled.
But you can't get that free, though. That's not Wisconsin basketball. Hill, negligent, didn't get out.
8 points for Matthias, 61-48. Boilermakers. Happ gives it up to Koenig.
Thought he would have gotten another bump. This is a tough one.
They need it. Off the rim for three. And a foul called on Happ as he was battling with Haas.
And the ability to shoot jump shots. You got the two big studs inside. What a compliment. Dakota on the money.
Take a look at the AT&T fast analysis, Billy.
Well, Bert, the bigs really played well, but what got them going was the ability to drain them from deep. A plethora, you might say. Negligent defense, I would say, on consistency. And we know it's a three. You don't have to tell us. But that has really helped open up things for the big guys. Using bumps well. And really, Wisconsin not hand hedging, not getting over the top of some of those little bumps on the perimeter.
Third foul on Ethan Happ. It sends Isaac Haas to the free throw line where he shoots it at 69%. 1-1 here for Purdue. Haas, good on the first free throw. Grew up a big Roy Hibbert fan. I'm not sure he knew he would be Roy Hibbert's size.
How about that? I think he was born big.
Yes.
That would be my guess.
He was. You are correct. Good scouting report by you.
Roy from Georgetown. Made a little name with the Pacers, right?
12 points, 5 rebounds for Haas.
Nice pump.
The fake. Koenig short. He just can't buy one. Prime the rebound.
Didn't have the legs on that. Once you pump, sometimes you just can't get that little push down and elevation.
Wisconsin coming off a 75-68 win at Indiana on Tuesday night. It's a game that they started on a 13-0 run, 16-2 early.
Steps. Yep.
Yes, travel on Swanigan.
Nice little pocket pass though. That's the little set with the double post high.
That's 17 turnovers. Swanigan has 6 individually.
But remember I was talking before, it's a dead ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like leading to a fast break open floor opportunity. Not that you want it.
Hayes a three. Wow. Way off.
They are just not themselves.
Wisconsin, 2 losses this season to Creighton and North Carolina, now in jeopardy of dropping their 3rd of the 2016-2017 campaign.
Greg said, and I guess the Creighton game, they had maybe 16 turnovers. That's not typical Wisconsin basketball. They'll get it addressed, though. This is a tough team in a big-time environment here.
P.J. Thompson with the leaner. Purdue is shooting 55% from the field. Wisconsin is at 38%. Purdue's got its largest lead. Price to the hoop.
This kid can go. A little blow-by.
Did a postgraduate year at IMG Academy. Physically, gave him another year to mature a bit.
Well, he'll be a great point guard in this conference.
Purdue's lead is 15. We approach 2 minutes to play here in West Lafayette. Matthias looks down low. Haas gets a touch. Back in on Happ. Haas fouled.
Not pretty, but effective.
Happ is a big guy, and Haas makes him look like they're of different species.
You are nasty.
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and artificial intelligence on the battlefield, followed by new episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary tonight, only CBS.
Are you suggesting Haas obliterates your vision on occasion?
I'm suggesting that that's one of the bigger human beings you're going to see. Isaac Haas.
It'd be handy at the beach. You wouldn't need blockout.
Oh, no. 1 out of 2. A major space eater for Purdue coming off the bench in this game, but it suited him. He's performed well. Under 2 minutes to play. Happ missed it. Rebounded by Swanigan.
And a nice job by Haas, too. Gave ground, made himself big. What they worked on yesterday, wall up.
The celebration begins for these Purdue fans with 1.5 left on the clock. Thompson. Matthias dumps it down low.
I know. He did have his elbow in there.
Swanigan, an offensive foul.
He's just resting, waiting to dine. You put that little arm in there. I think it's just a good piece of acting and getting the officials' attention. It's just resting now, Bird.
So you have no problem with that?
Pass the ketchup.
Is that a chicken wing? What do you got?
I don't know.
16-point lead for Purdue.
Did he invade his space, I guess would be the
I would say there was an invasion of some sort. Nice lay-in by Zach Showalter. And a timeout called by the Badgers with 1:16 to play. Purdue in control at home against Wisconsin.
Beware of the man eating honey barbecue wings. This is a dangerous man with nothing left to prove in life. Last week, he ate an entire order of blazing wings, and he didn't even cry once. It was crazy. So if you come back to the bar and see a man eating honey barbecue wings in your seat, remember, we warned you. Go get a new seat by the claw game. It's safer there.
Number 20 ranked Purdue Boilermakers with a 66-52 lead on the 13th rated Wisconsin Badgers. Big battle in the Big Ten. And the Boilermakers a minute 16 away from getting the win.
Well deserved. Hard working on both ends of the floor. Very physical in that first half. Full court pressure now.
Up next for Purdue, they will be at Iowa on Thursday night. Wisconsin will be at home the next two games, Ohio State and Michigan on the schedule. 1:05 to play. Thompson taking his time. Purdue's in no rush.
Swanigan's really done a nice job in terms of mobility, too, moving from position to position.
Thompson, the jump shot, off the iron, and it's rebounded by Jordan Hill. Koenig trying to drive in on Matthias. Baseline, left hand, no. Haas throws his body in there, and it's knocked out of bounds with 40.1 on the clock. And Wisconsin will retain possession.
Well, you got to come strong against this interior D of Purdue. Greg called it, though, didn't he, about the physicality?
He did.
You mentioned going back to the Katy days.
Koenig is off the mark, rebounded by Swanigan. And there's a 4-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Winding down here in West Lafayette. Purdue will improve to 14-3 on the season. Wisconsin drops to 13-3. Purdue out-rebounded the Badgers 34-21. Woo.
What does that tell you? The aggressive nature of this team.
Thompson circles. Klein rims out, knocked to the outside. 22nd board for Wisconsin. Koenig tosses it up, and he knocks it down with .5 on the clock. Just window dressing for the Badgers. Big win at home for Purdue as they knock off the Wisconsin Badgers. And an important victory in the conference, 66-55. Purdue gets it done at Mackey Arena. For Bill Raftery, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from West Lafayette. Purdue defeats Wisconsin. Tonight, CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2017 Men's National Championship. To the studio after this.
At Mercedes-Benz,